Okay, so somebody asked earlier about nail trimming. Nail trimming gets into a subject that I'm very positive about, outspoken about, which is cooperative care. Cooperative care is any time you teach an animal to literally help with its own care. In the zoos, we see this a lot, where the animals will come up, put their hips up, and and get ready for an injection, or swish a tail under so they can get a blood draw. Particularly with primates, they'll put their arm out and get the whole injection, and we do this for a number of reasons. A, it's a whole lot less stressful than grabbing the animal, pinning them down, a lot of stress hormones, chances of risk for injury, things like that. Also, if you're trying to knock an animal down because you have to do surgery, if you insert the drugs into their system after you've wrestled them and chased them around, they're going to have adrenaline, and that adrenaline is going to counteract the drugs. So that's why we do cooperative care. It's just way more humane, and that's one thing I want to bring to the domestic side. It's not there a lot. So usually what happens is hopefully they have vets and the caretakers have a good relationship. I've seen a lot of groomers with great techniques, but cooperative care goes a little bit more at home. So this is something the owner and the dog work on to get this relationship, and then present that to the groomer and also the vets, and make it just smoother for everybody. But also it works for the daily things you need to do, such as nail trimming. So nail trimmings, first and foremost, you need to desensitize the dog to the process. So basically I'd start with basic training, and earlier I mentioned using bridges and clickers to mark moments of reward. It's just an auditory marker, click, boom, something good just happened. And if you start associating it with, say, the clipper that kind of is in front of them. So first you start off by just touching them, mucking with. I call it mucking with. Basically when I start poking, jabbing, get the dog used to just being handled in different ways, such as grabbing their paws and stuff. Now, you don't just grab their paw and then click and then hope it goes well. You start softly. You start by touching their feet. Then you eventually show them this, and maybe you'll even touch their feet with this without using the actual clipper part. And then when they accept it, or just even accept it for a second, you click, you reward, but you create it to be positive. You don't focus on the negative side of it and go, no, you moved away. That's just going to create more frustration from the dog's side. So you first desensitize them. Also, later on, you can even add what are known as on buttons, or one thing that I like to use is the bucket game. An on button, let me explain that. That's something that's getting popular right now in the training world, which is basically giving the animal a way to say consent. So we train the animal that, hey, if you put your head on my knee, for example, that means I can do the thing that you don't like, normally don't like, such as give an injection, using trimmers or nail clippers, things of that nature. Another way I like to train it is with what we call the bucket game. Let me go back to that on button. So if they take their head off, you literally stop doing the thing that they don't like. And it seems counterintuitive, like they'll never do that. But believe it or not, once it's trained in and you're giving them rewards, they will do it. And the thing is, they know they have control, so it turns the whole process way calmer. Now, I use what's known as the bucket game. So the bucket game, you can look online. There's a million different versions of it. But basically, it's kind of like almost, the way I use it, it's almost like a meditation stone or prayer beads kind of thing. Something you focus on to kind of get your mind away from other things. And if you do it enough, then it's easier for your mindset to get into that mindset. So what I do is we have a bucket or a bowl full of treats, and the dog looks at it, and when they look at it, click reward. All right. Over time, we extend the look, like, okay, now you've been looking at it for a second. Now we got 5 seconds, 20 seconds, 30-second stares at this thing. Okay, now we're going to add distractions. I'm going to start grabbing your paw, and once you start looking away from it, I will stop grabbing your paw, but you'll also stop getting those rewards. You're not going to get the click, per se. But if you look for a second while I'm touching your paw, click reward, we're going to create this positive feedback loop so the dog enjoys being mucked with, enjoys the things that most of the time they would hate or initially hate. So we just try to make it not scary as much as possible. I'm going to show a couple examples at the end of this video. One is me working with Namera. Namera has been trained to have her nails done. She does not like it. You're going to notice a lot of head tilting, head looking away behaviors, but if she pulls her paw back away from me, I let it go away. Unless it's in a critical time, such as right mid-clip, where it could actually injure her more if she does take it fully away. Unless I'm in that situation, I let her take her paw away, because that gives her the control. But she's also not going to get the click. And you're going to notice, as I do this, she's going to get calmer throughout the video. As she receives the reward, you're going to see that she is calming down because she knows a reward is coming. She still might look away, but she's not going to be in that initial tense spot once she knows that's coming. Now, Xanadu's another story. I haven't done much work with her nail trimmings. I really need to. So we're going to start working on that. But I'm going to show you a little bit of the beginning stages of that. And you're going to see that she's going to come back to me, no problem, because I did not just force her to be pinned down and receive the nail clipping. I just did one. And really, they don't grow super fast. So if you can just do one at a time, rather than trying to get all the toes done in one session, it might go a lot smoother. Start small, get bigger. This is a phobia. If you don't just throw a tarantula on somebody who has arachnophobia. No, you first show them pictures of it. Then you might show them a video of it. Then maybe they look at it through a cage. And then maybe they'll get to the point where you can actually put it on their hand. But in other words, baby steps. You don't just dive right in, which is the problem a lot of people have. Patience, patience, patience goes a long way in helping with these behaviors. Once again, if you have any questions, let me know. At Buckman Bestial Behaviors, be happy to help you out if you are still having issues. These are complex and they do take time, and sometimes you just need a little bit of guidance. Happy to help, and you all have a great rest of your day.
Can I see your paw? Good girl. You still trust me with it. Good. That's a good girl. Hold it. Shh. You're fine. It's okay. It's okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. You did good. We're still going to reward you. Yeah. Because it's a process. And you haven't had the nail trimming process done to you. So I think you're going to be next.